sorry if it's loud. I am in a parking lot. Hey everyone, it's Curious Joyce, and today's story time is not something I necessarily try to suppress, but I try to think of that often. That's probably the same thing. So if you're new here, I make content about storytime food reviews and entertainment. Last week I talked about the movie Look Both Ways. If you want to see that video, it's in the description, and also I'll put a card right there. And so today's story time is brought to you by a moment that made me very uncomfortable. I happen to have those quite often, unfortunately, but it happens, it's life. I'm only 27 and there's more to come. Looking forward to that. But basically, at this moment, it was, let's say, 3 or 4 years ago. At the time, my husband was my fiance, and my soon-to-be in-laws, we were all hanging out together. We were celebrating something. I don't know if it was like a graduation or a birthday or like Mother's Day or Father's Day, but it was a day of celebration. And we're like, hey, let's go get mariscos. Let's go get seafood. And I'm like excited because I know that most seafood places that we go to will be Mexican and there will be Spanish speaking waiters. So I'm like, bet, I've been practicing, let me go do this. I'm excited. And also I've been less picky lately food wise, so I'm not too concerned about there not being something I want on the menu because I'm trying to expand my palate. So we get there. So in my head I was practicing, and under my breath I was practicing what I was going to order. I knew that I wanted a Jamaica drink, and I was still working on the food. But first, of course, with any restaurant comes the beverages. So we didn't even order the food yet, but I could already tell something was off. When you have a bigger group, the waiter or waitress goes in a certain order, makes her way all around. When it is my turn to order the beverage, she skips me. I'm like, okay, that was weird. And then even my in-laws were like, hey, she's taking her order. And like, she seemed very unhappy about it. She was like, okay, what do you want? And I'm saying what I want. She doesn't look at me. And she just seems kind of upset. She was just like, and then she just starts paying attention to everyone else. And she does get my order, which was a Jamaica, a glass of Jamaica. But when the drinks come, she hands everyone their drinks and kind of like puts mine at the tail end to be passed down.
When it finally dawned on me that she was actually, being a little racist, was when we were actually ordering our drinks. We had like made around. She still had that scowl on her face or whatever, looking all resting bee face.
So my in-laws start, my suegra and suegro start talking. My in-law parents start talking, and I'm like to my husband, my fiance at the time, Eddie. I was like, hey, I'm getting weird vibes from the waiter. She's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. No, that's what my parents are talking about.
And we're over here just trying to order our stuff, and she's like just giving this nasty look to Jess. And my dad actually was the first one to catch it. He's like, yo. And stands up and starts, talking like, you don't gotta treat her like that. You can talk to her. She understands Spanish too. She's a person. You don't gotta give her like dirty looks or ignore her or whatever. She is a person. He starts yelling at her or whatever. And my mom starts going in, and they're insisting because we had already ordered drinks. Like, oh, if you guys gonna leave, you guys gotta pay the drinks. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't give a shit. We'll pay for the drinks, but we ain't gonna eat here because your waitress over there, she giving my wife dirty looks, and she being a little rude. We're just gonna go somewhere else.
And as we're leaving, like, we only pay for the drinks. That's it. We're not paying for anything else. We leave. We go to the parking lot. And I'm like, so everybody's on the same page with me? That felt, a little sprinkle of racist, kind of. Like, I usually I try not to go that way, but sometimes you just get a feeling and you're like, there's some uncomfortableness and tension, and I didn't even do anything. And so in the parking lot, I was telling my husband, I'm like, so it wasn't in my head? Like, that was for real? He's like, no, that was for real. She was kind of racist, so. And mind you, there was like nobody else in the restaurant, so there wasn't many witnesses, and to this day that place is still open, but maybe they just have their particular customers. I don't know what I did, but I guess I really made her day a lot worse. Just my whole presence. I'm quite fabulous if I'm saying so myself. So has anything like that ever happened to you? It doesn't have to be necessarily basis, but more so the waiter just wasn't vibing with you for some reason. Like you didn't do anything. All you did is breathe and you just ruined the whole day. But it happens, you know? So every week I make story time, food reviews, and I don't know, what am I catching? Story time, food reviews, and entertainment. If you have any suggestions for any story times you'd like to hear, let me know. And if you have any food reviews or TV shows and movies you'd like me to review, let me know as well. And as usual, stay curious, my friend.